See, Negro male wearing blue. Quote, he had to elevate his house. And that's probably why Ellery and them have a hard time getting it to work, because the Negroes and them fought over it while I wasn't out here, usual. But see, this is why I tell you, Brian, that you don't really want to mate with Negro females because it's the same game, or males, because, you know, to avoid the problem, because as you see, as they create their gods, they force mate it, right? So if you want to protect the queen, or the queens, you want them to approach you, not the other way around, if you want to do it the right way, right? That's how you protect them. But because notice how Perlita and her Bididfats, right? They like to wear black, but they're emulating Miss Topat, right? Perlita's trying to emulate Kimberly Beswick, Miss Topat, which she's trying to emulate somebody else, another woman that may look like her, like Heather, right? Or another woman that actually got it to work. So the Bididfats do their little thing with the Negroes. They do the same thing. The Roman Knight does the same thing with Perlita or Joe as he does with the Negroes, right? So that's why I reject you, Perlita and Georgiana and Indy woman, because you guys, you people, or Alyssa and Jordan in that team, because you guys profess you guys didn't kill her, but you'll emulate her to force a marriage in hopes that it'll get it to work. And the Negroes and them do the same thing, right? So we can, Paris, inform your dad that the hillbilly pedophiles come back. So like I said, that group of them, you can transfer the funds that they steal and the information to you or your family or whoever they stole it from, and then your friends. Poof, David, it's not yours, and we're going to prove why. That David and Perlita and Harry and the Roman Knight are stalkers and rapists too, and idiots that ruin everything. If you want to play, you're doing Beehive, Bitted Bees, but you bring in Carney and Country and Western and Ghetto Life. There is no Carney, Country and Western and Ghetto Life in a Beehive. There's a queen bee, and the behavior is you guys aren't even mating like bees. So the way you people live, yes, you guys were moving in a direction until you started fighting over it. So we're gonna see. You want to be careful, Perlita. Augustine. This one's probably a keeper. I might actually read this one. That's why I don't, though. See, Stan, you want to be careful? You might not necessarily know. That's why I'm not trusting Perlita in them, because they keep screwing it up with the Negroes. That's why I reject the Bididfat mating ritual and LGBT and what they're doing, because they're trying to build one up from somebody else's stuff. This is a great one right there. Just the Latin. Oh, here's one. Choose that college major correctly. These are books I picked up at St. Vincent's. This is how people get smart. They're Roman Knight and all of them. You guys deny it, but now you want it. But now he goes around and probably collects every one of them still. Just look! This is how I prove you guys are using Paris Hilton and all those other girls. All American Antilla. There's an A marked over here by the library too. They scratch it out, right? David, you're a thief and a liar and a loser. You created a war, go back and forth and lie to people. For Don Wiley and all them, it never belonged to. Another set in. Other force mate. That's why I reject the Bididfats. And so if they put themselves in the way, guess what? Those women, under the leadership of those current men, are trying to replace the queen or the girls that it belonged to or they killed, or those children. That's why any leadership that the Negroes put up as assertion for their throne of Egypt will be a lie. So reject it. But also, be careful, Country and Western and Carney's trying to do the same thing. But look, Paris, you're going to be famous. Little girl, I tell you what, your daddy was thinking on this one. Because I'm probably related to her morons, and that's why the Negroes and them get all pissed and whatnot. I'm not a Negro, and I'm not LGBT, and I'm not Country and Western and Carney. And so somebody was expecting you, so we can go Paris, Lords of Acid, Paris, France, that we could prove that Harry and them repeat the same cycle of abuse with Joe or Ellery and the Attila man multiple times in a roundabout circle. That's how we can prove the two girls during Jamaica Street, Pickett Street. And then we got Cowboy Fag who likes to stalk and rape children and mutilate them, and then make up a bullshit story for David Fag of Warad. So you want to be careful, Bernard La Faga La Chance, a con man, La Freeman of La Carney. He does the daytime show of "You're liars, Tom and Brian," and then yaps at night, Indian fading. So we do all the literature to show what they are probably trying to read, and then lying about those people. Let's see.
By the way,
and which families they were harassing out there. Oh. Shakespeare and the Countess. Who tried to do Shakespeare on the YouTube? Negroes. And look what it turned into. And this is before I came out here. So you could tell that the torture chamber, they've used before it, and then they planned it with the carnies. That they actually came out here before. So Balamorad, Steve Jones, Morgans, let's see who else. Elton and Don. Somebody had to have prior knowledge, the Antillas, and then they planned it. Right, Bernard Faga La Chance, the con man of Carney loser. And they run the same thing and throw a temper tantrum with the country and westerners. So Perlita, so if you see Perlita Brian and your friends, if you see Perlita the Biddita Fats, they're trying to emulate Greg Faust or whatever stuff, you reject it. And that's how you can protect the queens like we used to do in the old way. Because the real way, if the women love you, they'll approach it. And see, they already know I like them, so I won't approach them. But the Biddita Fats put themselves in the way. So, dude, you can prove that the dude tries to force marriages to get power and control. And Perlita and them do the same thing. So does Judy Shepard and all that. So let the Biddita Fats and Ellery and all them throw their temper tantrums with the All-American Antilla and all them. But the Bernardi La Faga La Chance basically rapes children, and that's his way of keeping control. So he's trying to throw it over everybody's head. Look! And I'm like, dude, Bernard, Hillary Clinton, are you sure she's on your side? Or any woman? Or is she basically proving the same thing? That you're basically the cause of the problems that she had with Bill Clinton. Starting to understand, and then they could trace that back to Kennedy. Carney's Country and Western, that in ghetto life, that the Negroes are programming nightmares into people's brains, and Red Randy and the Hillbilly Squad, the oyster cracker into lemon. So be sure, Bernard, if they're on your site, because I'm telling you, they're downloading it, and it is worth unprecedented amount of money, if not priceless, to find out who are the dumb fucks who screwed everything up out here and built it backwards when they were in a progression to go the other way, and which children the group of you use. Trust me, for women, it's a great benefit. It may not be now, but I'll guarantee you in the future it will be.